ready to go for a car ride, Fern? Oh my goodness, how exciting. Hello everybody. We have some minor changes going on that are obvious from my end, maybe not so obvious from your end watching this, but I'm just gonna talk about them anyway because there's a few different things going on for me as I'm recording this. I recently dropped my Sony vlogging camera. So I use a Sony ZV-1M2, ZV-1 Mark II it's called. And it's Sony's newest vlogging camera, or the newest model of their vlogging camera. It's a beautiful little piece of technology and I ordered it and put it on a payment plan like shortly before we moved to the cabin so that I could vlog and create videos here at the cabin. Jesse, of course, has so much beautiful camera equipment that he is happy to let me use, but there was something about owning my very own camera that I was familiar with and that I was, I don't know, had the autonomy to use myself, that belonged to me, that I understood, that I knew how it worked. I could fine tune the settings. I could grab it and go whenever I wanted. Like there's just something different about owning your own piece of equipment. Or like, here's another example, like driving your own car that belongs to you instead of borrowing somebody else's car. Like it's just yours. And it gave me a sense of power and it made it a lot easier for me to feel more comfortable picking up my camera and vlogging and creating videos and just being creative on my own without relying or depending on Jesse's really nice camera equipment, which is really overwhelming and complicated to use, first of all. So he would have to like do all of the settings and all of like he'd just have to set it up for me to actually sit down and use. Whereas my little Sony ZV-1, I knew how to use and I got familiar with all the buttons and I knew how I liked things to sound, how I liked things to look. I knew how to set it up. I was familiar with how it felt. I fell in love with this little camera. And so that's what I've been using. And if you watched the Calgary vlogs that I posted, the most recent ones, I was showing it to you guys because I was having trouble with the battery life. That's my vlogging camera and I fucking dropped it. We've been having a really, really beautiful spring, first week of spring weather here at the cabin. It's been so warm and so sunny and the birds have been alive and there's like spring crocuses friggin' growing up out of the yard and in the garden. In Fern's pee-pee poo-poo garden, there's these other green shoots that are coming up. Like everything is starting to come alive and it's incredibly exciting and inspiring and fresh. And for the past few days, Jesse and I, particularly Jesse, he's been convincing me to come out and join him, and I have, but he goes out onto the big deck, the big front east-facing deck that overlooks the lake and the mountains at around, oh, I don't even know, this must be 7 o'clock in the morning. He goes out there with his blanket and he sits there and he just like has a sun bath with the sunrise coming right up over the lake. And it is so peaceful and so beautiful. I don't even have the words to explain to you how incredible this experience is. So I usually mosey on out there after he's been out for a bit and I have my coffee. And the other day, I think this might, was this last week? It must have been last week. It's the second or third day that we were doing this and that it was like really nice weather and we were hanging out on the deck together, waking up with the sunrise. And I went out with my coffee and I brought Fern and we were feeding the jays. So we had peanuts and we were like kind of feeding them jays and just sitting there, like literally just like in silence with our eyes closed, just like soaking in this vitamin D. And it was so peaceful and so quiet and the birds were singing and it was just so amazing. Like the feeling was just so amazing after this long dreary winter to feel this past week. And there was a moment where I was snuggled up to Jesse and I pulled his blanket over me and we were kind of just like cuddling in the corner with the girls. They were like snoozing, like sleeping. And I had this moment where I was like, I really want to capture this moment. Like I just want to like super casual, like just don't pay attention to me. I'm just going to go grab my camera, my tripod and set it up with my phone and my camera so that I have like a clip of this, like not necessarily to share online, but I just wanted to I just wanted to document the memory. It was just so beautiful. I just like wanted the memory and I'm so hyper aware of fleeting moments here at the cabin and not having them forever that I just like, I don't know, I just have this obsession with wanting to just like capture everything so that I have the visual memory of it forever. And so I was like, just 1 minute, I kind of interrupted the moment and I was like, just 1 minute, I'm just gonna go inside and grab my camera. And Jesse was like, okay. So I went in and I picked up my tripod kind of like by the neck to like pull it up off the ground and walk it outside and set it up and adjust it into frame and whatever. And the entire splitter, like the entire base just like slipped off and fell to the ground and my Sony landed on the ground. It was on, like I turned it on too. So it was just ready to go. I would just put it outside, hit record and that would be it. I just wanted to make it a simple process. And so the lens was out and it hit the wood floor on the corner and completely like jammed it in. So the lens cover doesn't close all the way and it's completely, there's just this big gap. Like it was fuckered. And I sat there for a minute, or I stood there for a minute just looking at it and being like, I fucked up. Like, this is bad. And I reached down, I picked it up, and I really didn't want to show Jesse because I was so upset. I still have almost $1,600 owing on that camera. And yeah, I showed him, and I don't think I've ever experienced Jesse showing that much empathy towards me for something, but he felt for me. And he said that his biggest fear throughout his entire photography career or whatever has been an accident, like a tripod related accident with dropping his camera. And yeah, so it happened to me. It just wasn't attached properly and whatever. So that was a bummer. That was a really big bummer. And I wish I would have just stayed in the moment with Jesse at that time because that would have made all the difference. Anyway, I've since then packaged it up into a little box with some bubble wrap and sent it off to Gentek International, which is Sony's Canadian like repair facility, I guess, to fill out this questionnaire online and print out like a number and pay for tracking to send it out there because it's not a warranty repair, it's my fault. And I've been watching it like kind of make its way over there, over to Ontario, and it's probably going to sit there for, you know, who knows how long until they get to it, and then they have to assess it and put together a repair quote for me. So I'm waiting to get that email in a couple of weeks to see how much it's going to cost to repair it. So the whole point in sharing that story was that I'm vlogging with a GoPro right now. Jesse set me up with kind of like a backup camera. He had a GoPro 12 that he's not using right now because he's not doing very much filming or getting out or whatever with everything that's going on with his brain. And he set me up with this GoPro. So that's what I'm looking into right now. And it's just a much different experience than looking into my Sony with the flip out screen. There is a little screen here at the front so I can see myself, but I don't really know what to expect with the finished product when I upload this video. I was just so comfortable with what my Sony vlogging camera produced and I knew what to expect. This is a very new experience for me. It's my very first time using it and trying it out. So today I thought I would make my first video using the GoPro. It's on a little handle. I'll film a clip of it with my iPhone. So I'll film a really short clip of it with this so you can kind of see what I'm working with and give you a visual here. As you saw, I'm with little Fern. She is my little road trip buddy. She is the best road trip buddy. Ivy gets so anxious in the car, but I came up with this little idea, this little plan or this little itinerary for us and for me and for you guys. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm obviously in my car. I am getting ready to go into town with Fern. So town is about 20 or 25 minutes away from the cabin. I'm going to set up the GoPro to take a time lapse of the drive down near the lake because it's very beautiful and I love sharing that every single time I go into town. It's just such a treat. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna take you guys to the bay. So some of you guys might be familiar with the bay. It's called Caslow Bay Park, but we call it Grumble Bay because we used to go there every single day with Jonas, Fern, and Ivy, and that was Grumble Bay. So we're gonna go to Grumble Bay. I thought I would sit down with you guys and introduce you to Fern and just hang out with little Fern. I have been getting quite a few requests, not even just lately, but like I always get requests to make a video about Fern and Ivy and how to tell them apart and just to kind of like, I don't know, spend a bit of time with them and help everyone differentiate them and just talk about them and tell stories about them. So I'm gonna start with Fern, and I thought we would take her for a car ride into town because she actually really loves car rides and hanging out and going on trips with me. Unlike Ivy, when we do an Ivy video later, we'll probably be staying in the cabin because that's where she feels the safest. So we'll go to Grumble Bay. I will hang out with you guys and Fern. We'll talk about her for a little bit. If anything else comes up, I'll kind of talk about it then. I'll give you guys a little tour of the bay. I'll probably talk about Jonas a little bit because there's lots of memories of him there. And yeah, I'll show you around. Some of you may have been there with me before. Some of you may be experiencing it for the first time. It's very beautiful. And then we are going to go to the Front Street Market, which is Caslow's little grocery store, our little grocery store. It's very small and sweet. I'm going to take the GoPro inside and I'm going to get a couple of ingredients for a recipe called, I think it's just called crack chicken. I found the recipe on Pinterest earlier today, and it's just like a low carb chicken bake recipe, not necessarily a casserole, but you cook it in a casserole dish. It sounds delicious. It's chicken breasts and bacon and cream cheese and garlic and onion powder and spices and I don't know, a couple other things that I have the shopping list for on my phone. So we'll go in there, we'll pick up some ingredients, and then I thought we would drive back to the cabin and cook dinner together. There's only one other video where I cooked dinner on camera and made like a video, like not segment, but like part of the vlog was about cooking. I forget what video it was, but it turned out amazing and so fun. And I know a lot of you guys enjoyed that. So I thought that would be fun. Jesse's on board with hanging out with me and with us in the kitchen tonight. So that'll be fun. I think we're gonna get a little creative with the GoPro and do some fun sort of like kitchen-y cooking stuff and cooking things in there. I'll leave the recipe in the description below for you guys if you like how the recipe turns out and you want to make it for yourself. I thought that would just be really fun, and it's a way for me to get familiar with this new camera that I'm going to be using for probably the next couple of months, because I'm assuming that's how long it'll take to even get this whole process started if I can afford the repairs on top of what I'm already freaking paying monthly for the camera. That's the plan, and I'm really excited. I want to get into a better habit of just casually vlogging my days so that I can post videos on this YouTube channel more regularly without overthinking it and without sitting down and just like, I don't know, putting so much effort and energy into these individual videos. I just want to be a little more casual with it and just documenting, I don't know, like cabin life and living out here in the Kootenays. So this is also an attempt at that. Let's hit the road and go for a drive into town. Okay, I'm just setting up to do a drive-away shot down this driveway, which I have done in the past. I wanted to show you what I've got set up here for vlogging and for filming these days. So this is my tripod, the tripod that fucked me over with my Sony. It didn't fuck me over. I don't know what happened. This like little plate didn't tighten the way that I wanted it to, and this is what fell off with my camera on top of it. This is the handle. It's also an external battery that charges the GoPro with extra juice, which I wish my Sony had. It's really nice. But it's also like a Bluetooth handle with record and stuff like that. You can do everything on the side. And then, yeah, this is the actual GoPro. I've got a little light here for my face, and this is called Media Mod. It's just like an external microphone, and there's the back there. So that's what I'm working with, and I don't know, it's pretty sweet. It's just different. I just got so used to using my Sony that it's a little bit tricky to get readjusted to like a new system, but yeah, let's go. To the bay. We made it to the bay. Where are we? Hey, honey. What a good girl you are. Yeah. So we made it. Here's where I was attempting to time lapse. I don't know if I did it right. So hopefully Jesse will be able to fix it or teach me how to do it properly, or edit it in a way where you guys got to experience the time lapse of the drive down here. But here's the bay. Obviously I'm still in my car. I am just going to get Fern out and we'll go for a little walk. There's some geese here. They're gonna have babies really soon. Funny, ready? I know. You probably need me to clean your ears later. We'll do that later, okay? We're gonna go have a little tiny walk at the bay. Yes, sweetheart. Yeah. Hey, you! Oh my goodness! That was so close. Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay. All right. You say hello? Yeah. There you go. All right. So it's definitely not uncommon to come down here and there be absolutely nobody here. It's actually more often than not you come down here and there's nobody here, especially earlier on in the season. But one thing that I find a little bit awkward is that people live in these like little houseboats at the bay on this lake. And I'm always like self-conscious that they're watching that influencer in the wild with her, I guess her GoPro now. It just feels like I'm being watched and judged. Something very exciting is happening that I want to show you guys. And we used to live so close to Grumble Bay. That's why we were here every day with Jonas and with the girls for the past like 3.5 years. We used to come down here every single day, literally every single day, sometimes twice a day with the pugs. And so we saw the bay go through all of the seasons, all of the different seasons, multiple times throughout those 3.5 years. And every single year it was always extremely exciting when the little creek started to flow through the bay again, and it'll dry up towards the end of the summer, but the ice melt or the snow melt comes through this little culvert up here and then goes underneath a little bridge and flows into the lake, which helps the water levels rise. But I want to show you guys the creek here. So I'm gonna turn my camera around because this is the first time I've been down here this year where the creek is actually flowing, and it's really, really exciting. And you know what? Pretty soon this entire little creek is going to be filled with forget-me-nots, which are me and Jonie's special little sign or symbol of connection. So yeah, check this out. So it starts up there. There's the culvert. We'll walk up there in a minute, and then it flows down here. Everything is still kind of like dead and brown. Goes under this adorable little bridge, which I have a photo of Jonas and Fern and Ivy and Julius, which is my mom's pug, right here. We did a little photo shoot on this bridge. And then, yeah, it goes out down this way, down through another little culvert, and then out towards the lake. So this is just a really exciting sign of spring, and we're here to experience it, Fern. We're here to experience it together. Yeah. I also have a photo or a video of Jonas and I literally right here at exactly this time last year, watching this start to flow for the first time last March. But Jonas was a month away from his euthanasia appointment, and we spent a lot of time here while we were waiting for that appointment, while he was dying pretty much. And I remember standing here and holding him right here and just reflecting on how, you know, spring was coming and everything was coming back to life, but he was dying. So it was kind of a, I don't know, a moment, but lots of memories. Let's go up here. Let me show you guys kind of what's going on up there. Hey Fern, how do you feel about that? That's a pretty big adventure for Fern, but we'll try. I would also just like to document that I am witnessing my first dandelion of the season, which means that the bears are coming. They're gonna be awake so soon, and maybe baby bears, because they feast on these. Oh my gosh, just so incredibly exciting. Okay, Fern, how exciting is this? I feel like I haven't gone on an adventure in a long time. I kind of wish Jesse was here. He would love this. What a big brave girl. Yes, you're a big adventure girl, aren't you? Yes, you are. Okay. I know. It's too tricky for her to get up there. All right, honey bunny. Oh, such a good girl. Good girl. You know what? I'm starting to think that Jesse encouraged me to come down here today. He really wanted me to play around with the GoPro and get familiar with it, and encouraged me to make a video today. And I was feeling a lot of resistance and like didn't really, I don't know, want to put the effort or the energy into it. I kind of wanted to just come into town and like get the ingredients for dinner and come back right away. And I'm so glad that I did this and that I came here, because I'm realizing that it's literally been almost exactly a year from the time that we were spending so much time down here at the bay with Jonas. And this bench Jonas and Fern and Ivy and I used to come and sit at, like that last month of Jonas's life was so still and so slow and so present, and we spent so much time down here just passing the day and just being so present and mindful of my time with him. And I would be on this bench and Jessie would be here, the girls would be off kind of doing their thing, just like Fern is doing her thing right now, sniffing and peeing on whatever. But I would have Jonas in my lap because he couldn't walk, and I'd be holding him, cradling him like a little baby on this bench and on this massive log down there, which I'll show you guys in a minute. Just seeing the creek and the bridge and the bench is just bringing back all of these memories, and this little trip down to the bay is actually feels kind of healing to me just because of the timing and whatever. But yeah. I think we'll go up to Jonie's apple trail and then we'll loop around down to the blackberry bushes and along the beach. Ready, Fern? So this is what I call Jonie's apple trail, and the reason I call it that is because these are actually apple trees along here. Actually, I'm not too sure about that guy, but this one over here for sure produces so many friggin' apples, and they're really delicious sweet apples. So this is an apple tree, and if you go up this trail, it leads you up to the Culvert Bay Estates, which some of you guys will be familiar with and will remember. We won't talk about the Culvert Bay Estates today, but this trail kind of just winds up and has apple trees and pear trees, and the apples and the pears will fall on this trail and kind of roll down. Jesse and I in the fall every year would come up here with Jonas and Fern and Ivy and shake them, and all of these apples would fall down and roll down the hill, and Jonas would chase them. He would run down and chase them because he wanted to bite them and have little pieces for a snack. He loved apples so much. So we would always say, Jonie, do you want to go to your apple trail? And this became Jonie's apple trail. And shortly after he died, coming here to the bay was pretty bittersweet. And I remember walking down here for the first time after he died, and I caught a glimpse of something over here. It was something blue. Blue is Jonas's color. And I think I was always I'm gonna flip my camera around, hang on. I was always so cognizant or so aware of these different areas when Jonas was dying, particularly when I was just with him, carrying him around in his last few months and weeks of life before his euthanasia. And I remember feeling really sad visiting Jonie's apple trail even when he was with me, because I knew that coming to the bay after he died and coming to the apple trail was probably going to feel pretty painful. And you know, to be honest, it was not easy, but it felt different than I expected. Back to that little story I was sort of telling you, the first time that I came to the bay after he died, I was on the other side and I was looking off at the apple trail thinking like, okay, it's happened. Like Jonas died yesterday, or you know, the other day. I forget exactly what day we came to the bay after he died, but I was like, this is the day that I had been thinking about for so long. There's Jonas's apple trail, and we have so many memories of him on this trail, and he's dead now. Like, he's died. The time came and went, and now he's gone. And I remember feeling a little bit of trepidation. Like, I didn't really want to go to the apple trail, but I kind of did at the same time. And I saw something blue off in the corner. It was like a field of light blue, and I was gonna skip it. I was gonna just walk down the other way towards the lake and not come near the apple trail. I didn't feel ready to come. I said, Jesse, like, I'll be a minute. I'm just gonna go over here. I just see something. And I walked to the apple trail and I followed this blue field that I saw. And it was like a field all along here of forget-me-nots. And I know forget-me-nots are a very popular symbol for people who have lost loved ones. I think they're particularly meaningful for me because of their color. They're blue, and Jonas's color was blue, and everything blue belongs to Jonas. and belongs to us. Forget-me-nots kind of became a really important little symbol for him and I after he died. Jonie's apple trail. You ready, Fern? She is going to be so exhausted. So now we're just cutting down towards the lake. To the left is a huge thicket. I think is actually the word is a thicket of blackberries. And there's a cherry tree here too, actually. So I'll throw my camera around and show you that. So this guy is a cherry tree, and I always get so sad when they're tagged. This has a little tag here because I think that means that they're planning to cut it down. They've already cut down a couple of our favorite apple trees here, and it's just devastating. They cut them down because they're food sources for the bears, and this is a public park, so I get it. Over the years, I've seen a handful of bears down here, so I know that they come, and we'll see bear like scat or bear poop around here, so I know they come down here. But anyway, for the first time, we learned that this was a cherry tree, and I came down here and picked a whole bunch, I think last summer. Super yummy. They're just little tiny wild cherries. And then over here is all blackberries, so you can see the branches and the thorns here. It's so like dead and flattened down right now, but in the summer this comes so alive. It's so thick that you would literally die if you just wandered in there. But there is so many blackberries that grow here in the late summer. This is all blackberries. Like you can see the deadly thorns. But in the fall it's so fun because we would come down here, pick a couple of apples, we would get a pear if we were lucky, some cherries, a blackberry. We'd just come down here and have lunch before we walked along the lake. Hey you, we're gonna talk about you in a second. Yeah, I think we're just gonna sit down and have a little chat with Fern. Get to know you a little bit. Huh? Yeah, oh my gosh, you're gonna be so tired later. Okay, Fern, I think let's go to the log down here. So I'm just at the log. This log is huge. I'll spin around here and I'll show you. I can't remember when it drifted up onto the bay, but it drifted up here a couple of years ago, and it's just been like a natural bench for people at the beach. And this is where we would hang out with Jonas and Fern and Ivy. Fern! Fern! Where you going? Yeah, this is where we would hang out with Jonas and Fern and Ivy the most. In that month before he died, I have a whole bunch of photos. I had to bring his blanket. I called it his magic carpet. And so I have some photos of him literally right here, lying on his magic carpet. We would just come and stare at the lake and enjoy the sun in that last final month of his life. Hey Fern, you should come here, Bubby. Hey Fern. Hey little one. Are you a good girl? You're gonna be hungry when we get home, hey? You could be hungry, girl? Oh, do you want your dinner? What would you like for dinner tonight? Oh, my shadow's in your face. I think turkey's on the menu. Yeah? I think that's all I've got for you, honey. Yeah. That's all that's thawed at home. Okay? You and your sister will have some turkey, and I think Jessie and I are gonna cook some chicken. Okay? Yeah, you're a good girl. Okay, not exactly sure where I should sit down to do a little interview with Fern. We'll figure something out. Okay, I think I'm just gonna set up my tripod under a tree somewhere out here, maybe back there, and just chill out for a bit with Fern. I'll see what I can come up with to talk about Fern. And then we will head to the grocery store to pick up some ingredients for dinner after that. Hey Fern, are you ready for your interview? I think over here is a good spot, right under the Grumble Bay Estates. Yeah. This is our tree. Come on, Fern, you're up. Okay, I think this tripod is actually quite a bit higher than I wanted it to be, but this is what we're working with. So, Fern, would you like to come? Come here. Come here. She's so slow. As I was kind of talking about earlier in the car, I have been getting requests, like casual requests from people to make a dedicated Fern and Ivy comparison video for literally probably the past 4 years, 5 years. People don't know how to tell them apart. And I think I still want to make a video at home back at the cabin where I'm talking about Fern and Ivy together, but just for today I thought that we would just talk about Fern. So I don't want to hurt her little armpits by pulling her up to have her like more in the frame. Fern and Ivy were born in the same litter in October of 2011. So their birthday is on Halloween. I don't really know if I'm gonna get too much into like their gotcha day story or whatever, but they were rehomed when they were 6 years old on Kijiji, and they found their way to me shortly after Thanksgiving in 2017. I got them just before they turned 7, and they just turned 13 last October, so they'll be turning 14 this upcoming October. And it's been a really interesting experience having 2 little 13-year-old pugs, because I am comparing them to Jonas, who passed away shortly after he turned 13, and his health started to turn towards the end of him being 11, and like throughout the entire year that he was 12 years old, and then it definitely took a turn for the worse like the day after his 13th birthday. So I never got to see him as a happy 13-year-old, and both Fern and Ivy are literally the happiest, healthiest little 13-year-old pugs that I've ever known. It's like they're in their prime, particularly Fern. It's hard to tell you guys in what ways they look different when I don't have Ivy to compare. I don't know, I guess I'll just try anyways. Fern is turning so gray. Her face, like her muzzle and her face is literally like turning into this little ghost face, and it's the cutest thing, and it's like really, really round and spherical and wide, and Ivy's face is very dark and very pinched. We have a friend, Erica, who calls her cheekbones. So she just has these like kind of defined cheekbones, and that's a good way to look at it. Fern's head is like almost getting bigger and grayer, and Ivy's head is almost like shrinking. I was just having this conversation with somebody on Instagram yesterday, and it reminded me of that character on Beetlejuice with the shrunken head. So their head sizes are very different. Fern is gray, Ivy is not. And I would say probably the biggest difference between Fern and Ivy right now is in regards to their mobility. A few years ago, I was really concerned about Fern because she was starting to get a little bit of a wobbly back end. And it turns out that we did x-rays on her, and she was diagnosed with hip dysplasia. We didn't pursue any extreme invasive surgery options or anything like that. I just put her on some joint supportive supplements, which worked really, really well for me, and for her, and she's basically been like reverse aging. It's insane. But Ivy is actually the one who has turned out to have the mobility issues. So she is the one that's wobbly in the back end. She might end up needing a wheelchair at some point, but Fern is just like still super bouncy and super sweet and super funny. So what to tell you about Fern? My mom, once upon a time, referred to Fern and Ivy as duds, and I kind of agree with her in the sense that Fern and Ivy, they have very, very big personalities, but they're very subdued. Like it's very subtle, and I think their personalities are really only something that Jesse and I know very, very intimately within our daily routines at the cabin and like within our household. But again, when I compare them to Jonas was just, his personality was so outwardly expressed, and he was so weird and just so like, I don't know, he was an extroverted pug. Like he was a wild one. And Fern and Ivy are just these like sweet little quiet introverted little pugs that aren't really meant to, I don't know, they're just not very good at performing or entertaining. like a camera or an audience, as weird as that sounds. I know, sweetie. So it's been hard to share them a little bit on Instagram, aside from like on Instagram, on YouTube, like wherever on the internet, when I think about how easy it was to share about Jonas. But I don't know, Fern, she's hilarious. She's a little clown. She does the funniest friggin' things. She doesn't want to stay on my lap, so I feel like this is going to be kind of weird, just me sitting in front of the camera and talking about her. She's so friggin' funny. She does the funniest, most random things, but they're really, really hard to capture on camera. One of the things that we were sharing a little bit online when we were coming down to the bay more regularly was Fern's cold poops, and we learned that she did this thing when we put her toes in the water, in the cold lake water, and splashed cold lake water on her bum. It triggered her to go poop almost immediately. So I would be filming, usually Jessie, taking her into the lake, splashing her bum with water, and then I would like film her getting into position and squatting and having a poop amongst this amidst this beautiful scenic backdrop. And it kind of became a little bit of a thing. I made a sticker about it that I never ended up marketing or promoting or selling, but that was kind of like Fern's little mini characteristic claim to fame for a while. And then when we moved to the cabin is like shockingly far away from the lake, so we don't go down to the lake anymore, and we don't do Fern's cold poops anymore. She recently started doing a mlem, so that's like when her little tiny tongue sticks out of her mouth. When she's sleeping or very, very relaxed, she has a little mlem going on. I've been sharing about that on Instagram every time I get the opportunity. I'm obsessed with it. She had a major dental, I can't remember how long ago, a year. She had her big dental really shortly after Jonas died. So it was almost a year ago exactly that she had, I think 12 to 14, I don't know, something like that, teeth pulled out of her mouth. And ever since then, her little tongue doesn't stick out of her mouth, but when she's very relaxed and her jaw relaxes, the little tiny pink tip of her tongue comes out the front, and it is the cutest thing, and it makes me so happy because it's the ultimate symbol of her being like relaxed and just comfortable. So we've got Fern's mlem. She has fangs, reverse fangs on the bottom. That she has an underbite. Her and Ivy both have an underbite. So she has these two little fangs at the bottom. They kept her canines. I think she has her top canines. Yeah, she does. She has her top canines, her bottom canines. Usually when they're doing dental extractions for dogs and for pugs specifically, they won't take the canines out unless it's like an emergency situation, because that's kind of what keeps their jaw together. So her two bottom canines, she has an underbite, so they hook on her lip a lot, like a lot. If she has dry lips, her little puggy lips will kind of hook behind her bottom canines and push her lip up. And so we call that Fern's fangs. And it's very, 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 very cute when it happens, and very, very funny. I always try to get a photo or a video, but as soon as I pull my camera out, she licks her lips and they tuck back in or go back inside. So there's Fern's fangs, there's Fern's little mlem, there is Fern's cold poops. She is absolutely hysterical when we get home and she hasn't seen us in a little while. If we go out for a couple of hours or whatever, if we even go out for like, you know, half an hour or whatever, she is just so excited when we come back that she cannot contain her zoomies. So she runs out of the cabin, runs down the little flight of stairs that we have in the front, and she will just like zoomy and zoomy and zoomy and zoomy around the cabin yard. It's super, super precious. Like, just senior zoomies are probably the cutest thing in the whole entire world. So she is very, 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 very attached to me. She's more attached to me than Ivy is. Ivy actually doesn't really like me very much. She has like imprinted on Jessie, but Fern is very attached to me, and she doesn't like to be apart from me for any period of time. Like, I can't be out of sight from her for more than 30 seconds or she will start to cry. If I leave the cabin without Jessie, I just go somewhere on my own, he'll usually send me videos of, Ivy does it too, he'll send me videos of the girls like crying and whining and howling at the door for me. So there is something there. But if I just go upstairs into the office and don't take Fern with me, she will cry and cry and cry and cry. If I go to the bathroom without her, she will cry and cry and cry and cry. So it's very sweet, and it makes me feel needed and wanted and loved, but she won't really let me snuggle her or cuddle her. She's not really like, she'll tolerate it, and she's very like, she's a floppy noodle. Ivy is not. Ivy is very stiff and she doesn't like to be reclined. Fern will let me manipulate her body, and like she just goes into complete limp noodle mode, which I love about her. She's very pliable, but she does not like to cuddle me. She's not a snuggler at all. She's not a snuggler in bed. She's not a snuggler on the couch. In our living room at the cabin, we have two couches. We have a big couch and a little couch, and they face kind of towards each other, and then the TV is behind the couches. So when we watch a movie or have like a movie night, Jesse's on the big couch because he's a big guy, and I'll be on the smaller couch. And And neither Fern or Ivy want nothing to do with me, want anything to do with me on the couch. I cannot for the life of me get them to snuggle me on the couch. They always want to be with Jessie. They're always with Jessie. They're always on Jessie. They're always walking all over Jessie. They're always tucked up into Jessie. They're always spooning Jessie. They're always on his chest, near his legs, into his stomach, under his shoulder. Like, they are constantly on Jessie, and they want nothing to do with me in that regard. And I've come to accept it, and it's funny. Like, it makes me laugh. I know they love me, and like they cry when I'm gone, and they're attached to me in a way, but like they're very detached in other ways, and it's quite strange. It's a very strange experience. Jonas and I were so close, and like he wanted nothing to do with anybody except for me. Like, the number of times he tried to bite Jessie when he would offer to like help him off the couch or like help him up the stairs was ridiculous. He didn't like it when Jessie would come in to kiss me. He would growl and snarl and get very protective, and he wanted nothing more than just to be in my lap and in my arms. And he slept above my head, and he loved sleeping just like tucked into my armpit. Towards the end of his life, he was sleeping on his back, and he would stay like just tucked right in my back like an infant, or not right in my arm, on his back like an infant in the morning. Those moments were so special, and I was so attached to him, and I don't get that from Fern and Ivy. So it's, yeah, it makes me feel really sad sometimes, and it just makes me miss him. And I feel like I try and force Fern to do that with me from time to time. Like, I just, you know, was trying to have her in my lap, but she doesn't want to be there, and I have to respect that. You know, she has to put up with it sometimes because I like to just like schmugga-bugga her. But yeah, they're very removed from me as a person, as their primary caregiver that pays for all of their food and their vet bills. So I love them so much, and Fern is definitely a little more attached to me than Ivy is, for sure. And I love her, and I love her sister Ivy so much, but it's a very different love than what Jonas and I had and what Jonas and I shared. That was just next level, and I feel so lucky that I was even able to experience it once. If I never experience that again, I will be very sad, but to have had it with him in this lifetime is enough for me. So I don't get that same kind of attachment and love, like obsessive, deep obsessive love from Fern and Ivy. It's kind of, I don't know, it's just, it's different. It's just so different. And I think anybody who has owned multiple dogs and who has experienced what it's like to love a heart dog and be in a relationship with a heart dog will know exactly what I'm talking about. It's not that I don't love Fern and Ivy. The love and the connection is just a very different kind of love and connection. So I don't really know what else to say about her. What do we say about you, Fern? She's so healthy. She has chronic ear issues. I have to clean her ears often. She has a very sharp bark when she gets excited that we're at the park. Yeah. She's picky. She's a picky pug, which is a little bit weird. You think pugs are all just obsessed with food, and she is, but she's very discerning. Are you gonna come up? Oh, big yawn. You wanna come up? Yeah. She's very discerning with the type of treats that she accepts. She's very particular to certain flavors or certain proteins. She definitely has her preferences. If you try and feed her something from your hand, sometimes she won't take it, but if you put it on the floor, she changes her mind and she'll eat it from the floor. Oh, and she loves her fresh bedtime water. How could I forget? That was like a series of videos that I was sharing primarily to my Instagram stories every night. Part of our routine is getting Fern's fresh bedtime water, and that just means literally filling up her dishes with fresh, cold water and ice cubes and bringing it to the bedroom, and she will sit there and drink for a solid 3 to 4 minutes. Whenever I post it, people are always like, do you give her water like throughout the day, or is this the only time she gets to drink? But she drinks throughout the day. There's always like water available for Fern and Ivy to drink, and she just, I don't know, it's almost like she's been trained into thinking that it's a trick or like I don't really know how to explain it. It's just so ingrained in her. It's such a part of her routine. We've been doing it for so long that she almost like holds out until the end of the day because she knows that I'm going to get her fresh bedtime water. Do you like your fresh bedtime water? You got your fresh bedtime water, your mlem, your fangs, your cold poops, and yeah, that's pretty much Fern. That's just Fern being Fern. She's hilarious. She's very easygoing. She doesn't have any anxiety. Ivy has all of the anxiety. This was a very big day for you. So we don't do big outings like this anymore. They just happen less and less as your dogs get older, or at least as our dogs get older. You know what I think we should do, Fern? We should go to the grocery store and we'll get some ingredients for dinner, okay? Because we have to go home and feed you, and then we have to get cooking. We're gonna get back in the car. We will pop into Front Street Market and grab all of the things we need to make crack chicken back at the cabin, and then we'll make our way back. So, you ready? You ready? Okay, let's go. One more thing I forgot to share about Fern. I'm not sure if she's gonna do it. You do down dog? You do down dog?
No, Fern, stay. 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 Do down dog. No, Fern. Stay. Stay. Do down dog. Do down dog. You do down dog. You do down dog. Fern. You do down dog. You do down dog. You do down dog. Oh, she's not gonna do it. Fern. You do down dog. You do down dog. You do down dog. Yeah, good girl. So, not that that's a huge deal, but we've trained her to actually do that. That took longer than usual. In the morning, she will offer up so many little down dogs. It's adorable, but we've trained her to actually do it as a trick. She loves the attention she gets from it, and it's very sweet. So Fernie does her little down dogs. Yes, you do. It's very cute. Okay, you ready? All right, let's go. All right, I'll stick you in there. Good girl.
One thing that I forgot to show you guys that I wanted to show you was this. Do we see this? Can we see this right now? Okay. So the other day, when I say the other day, I mean about 2 weeks ago, Jessie went to go visit our friend Robert, who is a shamanic sound healing practitioner up at Mystic Mountain Temple here in Caslow, very, very close to the bay actually. And it was a nightmare. Not for him. He had a wonderful session. He actually shared a video about it on his YouTube channel that you can go and check out that shares about his experience sound healing his pituitary macroadenoma with Robert, where he shared about his experience with it. But dropping him off, we actually got stuck in the snow on the driveway because Robert's dog Damara and a neighbor's dog were there, and I was so scared to like hit the gas and keep up my momentum to not get stuck going up this driveway that I got stuck in the snow because I didn't want to hurt the dogs. It took us about a half an hour. I had to walk up the driveway all the way, is really far, up to the Mystic Mountain Temple like house and like knock on the door and get Robert to come out with 2 pails of gravel, and he came down and we had to like put gravel under my tires and actually get out of this kind of like ditch that we fell into, and like it was awful. It was not the state that you want to go into an energy healing session with. It was pretty high stress and very uncomfortable and unfortunate. Now it's funny thinking about it and telling the story. It's very, very funny. But when I came back to pick Jessie up, I parked at the bottom of the driveway because there was no way in hell I was going to attempt to try and go up there again. I just parked at the bottom, and then Jessie was going to walk all the way down to meet me. And Damara and the other farm dog were there, and they jumped up to the window. I obviously had it rolled down, and I was like encouraging them because they were so cute. But they're just like, you know, little farm dogs, and they're so dirty, and I still haven't washed this. I actually didn't realize that they had done this until I was driving back and it dried. But that is a little reminder of the farm dogs of Mystic Mountain Temple. It splashed like all in here and everything. I washed up here because I attached this little GoPro thing for the time lapses, but it was all over here. It's all in there. Hey, oh, sleepy girl. Oh no. You're gonna have such a good sleep tonight, honey bunny. Yeah. Look at my pants. Oh no. I think that's you. That's all you. Okay, I'll be right back. I'll be right back. No, I'll be right back. I'll be right back. I know, honey. I know. I can't bring you into the grocery store. It's not allowed. I know. Watch your face. Watch your face.
again. Hello again. Can we back it up? Can we go over to your dad? Oh, do a big jump, Fern. Do a big jump. Good. Oh my goodness. Good girl.
Okay, so Jesus Christ, that was so expensive. It was $108, probably because I bought all the spices and the cheese and just all of it. But I'm wondering if I want to go to the liquor store super quick. I have a half a bottle of wine at home, but I'm thinking that, like, I don't know. I just don't know. Should I get some more wine, Fern? What does that mean? Okay, I think that's a yes.
Fern, we made it. You kept the wine safe the whole way, like a good pug. And we're back at the cabin. We'll go see Jessie. And you want your dinner time? Is it supper time? Are you hungry? Okay. All right, sweetie. We're gonna go get you fed. Yes, we are. Oh, you got my phone. Okay, I know you're so excited. You're so excited. Okay.
Running inside. Here's my box of $110 worth of groceries. That's insanity. That's insanity. Like, it's like 4 things of spices, some parsley, some green onions, some chicken, some bacon, some cheese, and some some gummy bears. And that's it. Ivy! I'll have to come back and get this. Okay. Did you clean the whole cabin for the vlog?
Yep. Now we need firewood.
Oh. Hi, Ivy.
Oh my goodness.
She's hungry.
Oh.
Okay, one sec. Good girls. Oh, yeah. Okay.
We made it. You goodies want some dinner? Are you hungry? Got hungry tummies? Oh, yeah.
I've been telling Fern this for like an hour now. So it's definitely dinner time.
You hungry? Oh, yeah.
Oh,
She drops it.
Blech.
Who wants rope when there's turkey? Hi. Oh, you're so excited. Okay, come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, honey bunny. There you go. Here, Ivy. There you go, girl. Here we go.
Where are you pouring wine?
Yeah, do you want a glass?
Yeah. Let's go start the fire.
Those are big glasses.
That's okay. We're big people.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Happy day
Cheers.
before my birthday.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
The
my
eve
gosh.
of my birthday.
Yeah. Tomorrow's a big day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna go start a fire.
Okay.
Yeah. Ivy! Hello! Of course! Hey, Fern? Ivy, hello. Hello, Ivy.
Okay. So how should we go about filming our first Grumble Kitchen episode? Our first Grumble Kitchen segment. I've had the idea of like doing a Grumble Kitchen, like bringing back like Grumble Farms, the Grumble Kitchen idea, I guess. I always used to refer to like my cooking and like cooking in the cabin as the Grumble Kitchen, and I haven't really, I don't know, been so into it lately, but getting all the ingredients for this crack chicken, what it's called, I thought this would be like a Grumble Kitchen revival.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, but like, are you gonna wear this thing the whole time?
Should I?
Jesse's just not gonna be in it because he's wearing a chest mount. Can I get like, where's my phone?
It's over here. Right beside you.
I always know where my things are. So here, I'll film you to show what's going on. So here, we're gonna go in wide. This is what Jesse's doing. He shoots raw. And yeah, I guess we're just wondering if like, he's gonna just be like Mr. Handsy.
No, I'll take it off.
You're gonna take it off, okay, okay, okay.
You don't like my grabby hands?
I kinda don't. Yeah.
Go like this.
Oh my God, how should we do? That's not what you usually do this.
Oh, like
To my butt.
this? What do we got?
Yeah, so this is the $100 box of goodies. I already showed everything, like when I was shopping, but we've got chicken and bacon and smoked paprika. I guess I have to show you. Every time I come home from the grocery store, I show Jesse every single item. It's like a show and tell. So our smoked paprika, freeze-dried chives, which I think we actually have a lot of up there. Some dill weed, your favorite.
No. Not my favorite.
Parsley.
Oh no, I like parsley.
Yeah.
It's cilantro.
Yeah, it's parsley. I just thought because it's green.
Oh.
Green onions, some cream cheese. I hope this is enough for the recipe. I got onion powder because I didn't know if we had onion powder or not, but this is for our bedtime snackies. Better Bears. And this huge brick of cheese for the recipe. And I think we have everything else. And then I just got more coffee cream for the morning. Don't look in the kitchen. Don't look in the kitchen. Don't look in the fridge. How should we go about the cooking experience?
Well, I think I should take this off.
Okay.
And you should set it up.
Like all my ingredients?
Well, set it up. Tell people what you're making, how you're making, what you're doing.
Okay.
And then, I don't know, maybe we do a little montage?
Yeah.
A little cooking montage?
Yeah, we all love a Jessie montage.
Put this back on you and maybe, I don't know, strap it to the knife and all the different devices and see how creative we can get.
Okay, we're just gonna drink wine and get really weird with the GoPro, I think, is what Jessie's trying to say
Something
here.
like that.
Yeah, that sounds fun. I'm just gonna go put this in the bedroom and we'll be back.
Okay. So what's your problem?
I have a problem of filming long YouTube videos. I cannot get that, like, 15-minute YouTube video, what is that?
I'm lucky if I can get over 15.
Yeah, I know, we're so opposite. Yeah, I was just telling Jessie how I probably shouldn't have filmed that whole part with Fern sitting in the park, like, talking about her, because the trip ended up being, to the bay ended up being about Jonas and, like, everything else I did, and plus, like, the cooking, this is gonna be, like, an hour and a half. Like, anyone who sits down to watch these videos is literally, like, buckling up to watch a movie. Like, what the fuck? Jessie always says, like, I'm sure your like audience would really appreciate a few like shorter videos, and I'm like, what? What do you mean?
What is that?
What's a short video? Are you kidding me? I think I've been within the confines of Instagram for so long that I'm just like going buck wild.
Yeah.
Like I can't even really believe I have all this space to like do whatever I want. And, like, YouTube doesn't cut me off, and so I'm like, oh, an hour and a half is like what I'm supposed to do. I don't know.
What do you guys think? Do you like them long or you want shorter?
I thought you were talking to the pugs.
Do you guys want longer videos or you want shorter?
She's shaking.
Are you shaking?
Ivy doesn't want any of it.
Do you want to go to bed?
Yeah, she just wants 0.
What about you, Fern?
Yeah. No, but like for reals, I think the people that watch them, like I'm thinking of like Karen, Jenny, those are the two. Oh, Rachel, of course.
Rachel's like #1.
Rachel's,
YouTube
yeah,
fan.
she's numero uno. And there's just like a few core select people that are like on it, watching the whole entire thing. Like, I swear to God, if I posted a 3-hour video, you guys would be watching it. But then there's like the rest of like YouTube or the internet that's like, who the fuck is this chick making an 1.5 hour long video? Whatever, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I'm getting all my ingredients ready. Lots of stuff. Garlic powder. We got onion powder, dillweed, chives. I think that's all I need. Butter, chicken breast, salt and pepper, smoked paprika, cheddar cheese, which we're gonna use in the food processor, parsley and scallions. I already told you guys, but we're making, it's called baked crack chicken. And I'm not making up this recipe. I'm just following a recipe I found on Pinterest. So I'm gonna post the recipe in the description, but also these ingredients cost $108. So I don't know if you're gonna wanna make it because like it's so fucking expensive. You know, I had some of the ingredients here too. So like, I just can't believe how expensive this was. We're just gonna go for it and see how it turns out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, time for a montage?
Time for a montage. The Grumble Kitchen. we're back. That was so fun. You can do a lot more with a GoPro than you can with like Jesse's fancy cameras.
Yeah.
Like I literally slapped a raw chicken breast at the GoPro, and Jesse just like rinsed it under the tap. This is what we made. It doesn't, I mean, it just looks like pretty like, I don't know, average with the cheddar cheese on top, but it's got the cream cheese underneath and the bacon and all the spices and the butter, and we're gonna throw it in the oven for 15 minutes. What are we gonna do with that 15 minutes?
I'm gonna try and talk, and you're gonna cut me off for 15 minutes.
Perfect. Okay. And then
those who know.
Yeah. If you know, you know. And then we'll pull it out, top it off with some parsley and green onions and bacon, and eat.
Yes, we should probably eat.
We should probably eat.
It's probably a good thing.
Yeah. Okay, ready to go in?
Yeah.
Okay. So just 15 minutes. Because we cooked everything already. Pretty much. There we go. I'll start the timer on here because our oven is broken. It doesn't have a timer function. 15. Start. Okay, so how's your brain tumor?
It's there. It's not too bad today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's the pain and the headaches? Are they really painful? Are you having a hard time?
I see what you're doing.
Jesse and I got in a bit of a domestic last night.
About Brandy's hair.
He told me he was sick of hearing me talk about my hair all the time. He was like, you're always, always, always complaining about your hair. And then we were like, okay, I think I'm just gonna go to sleep. So we like kind of went to sleep separately. And then like 15 minutes later, he like taps me on the back and he's like, I'm sorry, I just don't have the capacities right now to listen to you talk about your hair.
Because of my brain tumor.
Because of your brain tumor, yeah. So now I'm not allowed to talk about my hair. Like I don't talk about my hair anymore.
And I'm not allowed to talk about the firewood. Because I'm sick of the firewood situation.
He was like, you always complain about your hair. I'm like, well, you always fucking complain about the firewood. Like, we always complain about stuff. Yeah. But I can't talk about my hair anymore. And I let it down to dry today and I didn't talk about it all day. Nope. But anyways, so your brain tumor is doing well.
Yeah, it's doing great.
It's doing great.
We named it.
So we named it. I didn't share about this anywhere except for on Patreon. But Jesse...
I got the message.
Yeah, they sent it to Jessie for some reason on Instagram.
And I'm gonna let Brandy talk. She's not cutting me off. It's okay. So just relax.
Just fucking relax. It was on Instagram, but Jessie got it through Facebook, like Meta Business Suite or whatever. Like it was hidden.
Yeah.
In the request folders or whatever. And this person like just fucking ripped into us. Like holy shit, they've been following for a while and they knew all of these little details and they talked about Jonas, which I hated, and like all of this stuff, but we
named the tumor after you, by the way.
Yeah.
Lizzie.
So Lizzie loves cello. If you're watching this, because we blocked you fucking everywhere else.
Well, actually, I unblocked you and I followed you.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right, I should do that.
Yeah.
So that you can see just how fucking well we're doing. Yeah, she was basically, or I don't know, we're basically just like, I can't follow this train wreck anymore, whatever. I'm not gonna go through the whole thing. This is a while ago, so like, I'm over it.
But then a few days after that message, I got diagnosed with a brain tumor, so I wanted to message her back and be like, the train wreck is just getting started.
Yeah.
Like, we're just getting into the good stuff.
Like, you are missing out. Like, you know, like, they call it a train wreck for a reason. Like, you can't look away from a train wreck. Yeah. So I get it. Our life was obviously interesting enough for this person to be following along and like gathering all of this information to like spit hate out at us for, but like, they're missing out. Like they should have waited to send that message until this happened. That person's troll profile with 0 followers, well 1 follower now because Jesse's following them. The name that they made was Lizzie Loves Cello for some reason. It's so random. We decided to name Jesse's brain tumor Lizzie because that seemed like the most appropriate fucking thing, and it happened kind of at the same time, so yeah, it's pretty funny. I only shared that on Patreon with our patrons. I haven't shared it anywhere else, and I'm not gonna really like dissect it or talk about it too much because I've like already thought about it too much. It was a really shitty message to get. Yeah. Like it really kind of affected me for a while, and Jessie too. Like we talked about it for some time, but anyway, yeah, Jessie's tumor's name is Lizzie. Lizzie the tumor.
Okay, now all about your hair.
I'm not talking about my hair because we'll get a divorce. I bought a microfiber towel because I thought that maybe that would help. And after Jesse and I got in a fight last night about it, I had a shower early this morning and I like wrapped my head in this microfiber towel and was walking around with that on my head for about 7 hours waiting for my hair to dry. Like I don't have a solution. I don't have a solution to make my hair dry faster. Did you order it?
It's in my shopping cart.
Okay.
I'll order it probably tomorrow.
Okay.
I'll do that for sure.
Yeah. I ordered this what's it called? A bonnet hair dryer. So it's like this gigantic pillow, basically. This like kind of like, it's like a crazy wavy inflatable arm flailing tube man, but like for your head. And you put your soaking wet hair in it, and then there's a tube that comes down that you put your blow dryer in, your hair dryer in the top, and it kind of like expands everything like a tent on your head. I'm just imagining me sitting up in the office with this on my, And it's supposed to like, you know, diffuse your hair with heat, or I don't know how you're supposed to use it with cooler heat or whatever, but it just blows hair into this like kind of like big tent on your head. It's supposed to be like a non-negotiable item for curl care, which Jesse doesn't believe in. He thinks I should just put egg yolks in my hair and forget about the rest.
I do. I still think that. I will forever.
So that's something else we fought about last night.
Until you try it.
Yeah. Well, maybe I'll have to try it for YouTube.
Just once. Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
Should we make a YouTube video about Brandy's hair and egg yolk?
But he thinks that all my problems will be solved by just putting egg yolks in my hair.
I do. I really do.
Okay. Well, anyway, so I got a bonnet curl dryer and hopefully that will help. But basically I was just expressing how I felt about how frustrated I was with getting my hair ready for videos and for vlogs, because I wear my hair up in this shitty bun all the time. And it's just frizzy and gross, and I've got like gray hairs like kind of coming out everywhere. It makes me feel really gross, and it's not easy for me to hop on camera and film vlogs. And Jesse just thinks egg yolks is the answer to this. Egg yolks.
I've done my research though.
I also done my research, and I've learned that I'm not supposed to put a lot of protein in my hair. And so this morning I was researching about egg yolks, and it's protein. It's like a whole shit ton of protein that you're putting on your hair, and I'm not supposed to put protein on my hair.
Says who?
It says curlsmith.com.
Oh, okay. So these big corporations are telling you not to put some natural thing in your hair and that you need to use their product.
He told me that I was brainwashed
into
like buying these products that are making my hair curly, and that I just need to ditch them and do egg yolks.
Yeah.
This guy.
We're going to do a video on it. I'm going to make Brandy do a video. We have to try it once.
Will you do it too?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll put it in my beard.
In your beard? And then we're gonna wash it with hot water and it's gonna scramble.
Okay.
Literally all of the articles about that say don't use hot water because it'll scramble in your hair.
Anyways, memory card's almost full.
Yeah, this video's
Dinner's
gonna be
almost
so
done.
long. Dinner's almost done.
Yeah.
Jesse and I want to do a Q&A with you guys also.
So
we can just cut each other off the whole time.
Yeah. So send your questions in.
Yeah. I'm going to be putting that out on Instagram and Facebook and wherever here
All
on like the
places.
community tab on YouTube, which I don't use that often. But I'm going to compile like a list of Q&As. You guys can troll us too. Like send like weird questions. Landon. And yeah, we thought about just like sitting down on the couch with the girls and just doing like a Q&A. Is this the end of the video?
Maybe.
Okay.
It might be.
Okay.
We'll see.
Okay.
If it just goes black, then it's the end. If not, then we'll
Okay.
be eating chicken or something.
Okay. Yeah.
We'll see.
If it ends, it ends. And if not, you're going to see Jesse and I eating together.
It'll be a surprise.
Yeah. Oh my God.
How much time is left?
That's fun. 5 minutes.
Oh, we have 5 minutes left on the memory card.
Wow.
So what do you want to talk about?
I don't know. I talked a lot today.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did. I talked about what happened with the camera, which is unfortunate, but the GoPro has been really fun. I talked about the bay and all of the stuff that happened with Jonas down at the bay last year. We talked about Fern, who is now sleeping. She had a big day. That was a really big day for her. We talked about, maybe that's all we kind of talked about. And then I just got groceries and then came back here and then we talked about me and Jesse's fight and
The Tumor.
and your tumor.
And Lizzie.
And Lizzie. Shout out to Lizzie. I mean, there's lots I want to talk about in future videos. There's so much I want to talk about that I feel like I have nothing to talk about.
Brandy has to break things down into bite-sized pieces, and even her bite-sized pieces are 5 hours long.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a whole thing, so.
Well, why don't you wrap it up with talking about, what's it called? The new space.
Substack?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been talking about Substack a little bit. I probably spent the entirety of 2024 working on migrating our membership community, like our inner circle internet friend group, from Patreon that we've been on for the past 3 years over to Substack, because I realized that probably should be my new online home based on the type of stuff that I put out there on the internet, which is long form writing and videos and stuff like that. So I finally just did the migration yesterday. I brought everyone over, and I'm hoping that all kind of goes smoothly. So our Patreons are now our paid subscribers, and I'm about to migrate our email subscribers, our email list, over there probably this weekend, so that everyone will be over there. And I'm gonna try and like convince and pull in the free email subscribers to become paid subscribers over there. So I'm really trying to grow on Patreon, or not on Patreon, on Substack. It's like Patreon and Grumble Farm have become such a part of my, like I used to say those things all the time. But yeah, we're really trying to grow the Substack and YouTube. Like Substack and YouTube are my focus right now for moving forward as Gritty Gracious in the Grumble Kitchen. And if you're not familiar with anything I just said, I've been leaving the link to Substack like in the description below every YouTube video. Is the first thing. It's like the very first link. It says join our community by subscribing to the All in One Breath newsletter on Substack. So that's what I've called my newsletter, is All in One Breath with Gritty Gracious. And that's where we're hanging out. And paid subscribers get to sort of like hang out in the comments and have private chat threads and discussions. And I'm gonna be dropping some Zoom links where we're gonna be continuing to gather together on Zoom and hang out. So paid subscribers get that, but free subscribers still get to receive the newsletters that I'm gonna start writing out probably in a couple of weeks. And I'll be sharing the YouTube videos and stuff like that in those emails too. So if you want like notifications for when, not notifications, but like just emails talking about the YouTube videos and getting some sort of behind the scenes stuff on that, then that's a good place to go. So.
Okay, now end it. You have a minute left.
I have a minute left. Okay. Thank you for following along on this 3-hour cinematic movie adventure from the Bay to the Grumble Kitchen. As always, I love you guys, and I'll be back with another video. It's my fucking birthday tomorrow, so Jesse and I are going to be vlogging that. We're going to Fletcher Falls and going out for maybe like a brunch-ish kind of situation, and yeah, we're just going to go with the flow tomorrow. Yeah, so it's going to be really fun. So I'll be back really soon with that video, and yeah, I will see you then. Bye! If you know, you know. Bye. I don't know what this is gonna look like. Oh, it looks great. Oh, I should get to. Can someone send us new oven mitts? Please. Our mailing address is literally in the comments. Something cute and fun. Yeah. So there's our baked crack chicken. That actually looks so incredibly delicious. So basically, should I put all the toppings on top or just like on the plate? Yeah, okay. So we've got some parsley and some green onions, and then all of the extra bacon. And that's that. Delicious. Yay! Oh, okay. That should be where it ends.
Touched it. Burnt my finger. Okay, now can we end it?
I touched it.